Hey up, it's Steve from the Old Yorkshire Geek, and if you're living in New Zealand or the Pacific Islands, Happy New Year, Happy New 2023. Still got a way off here. What time is it? It's time of recording. It's coming up to 12:30 in the afternoon here in the UK. So we've still 11 and a half hours to go until the big day, well, the big time, till New Year. God. Anyway, so Happy New Year, Merry Christmas. For as was, and got a bit of news today, a little bit about Toy Story and the Lightyear film. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm waffling. Hey dear. Hey, great start, great finish to the new year. I could edit this out, but I'm not going to bother. Sod it. By the way, if anything flies out my mouth, I've just eaten a turkey sandwich, appropriately for the season. So I've done my best. I've had my toothpick out, and I've gone through the old my black pegs, and I've done the best I can. But if anything, if I've missed anything, I apologise. Who cares? Let's have a drink of coffee. I mean, I could start again, couldn't I? But I'm not going to. So there. Anyway, so here we go. Toy Story. Right, John Lasseter has been critical of the Lightyear film. Full disclosure, I've not seen Lightyear. I don't plan on seeing it. I didn't like the trailer. I thought, what's the point of this film? Why do it's about the astronaut that inspired Buzz Lightyear. So why then they done it in CG? Why not do it as a live action then? Anyway, there we go. Original Toy Story director reportedly very critical of Lightyear spin-off. Original Toy Story director John Lasseter, who's reportedly very critical of this year's Lightyear spin-off movie, as well as another major Disney flop. This is on Screen Rant. As usual, links in the description. Don't forget, like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell, follow me on my social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm also on Rumble and Anchor.fm and Spotify and Amazon Music Podcasts and Google Play Podcasts. Is that it? Yeah, I think it is. Right, off we go. Right, following its memorable box office bombing, a new report indicates that original Toy Story director John Lasseter turkey's coming. Just felt a bit dislodged. John Lasseter is very critical of the Lightyear spin-off movie. Released in theatres this past June, the film explored the origin story of the figure that would go on to inspire Tim Allen's beloved toy, with Chris Evans recast as Buzz. Sorry, I can see something. It's not a bit of bread, is it? Chris Evans recast as Buzz as he finds himself stranded in the future after trying to save his fellow Star Command officers from the alien planet they're stranded on. Co-written and directed by Angus MacLean, Lightyear, who I've never heard of, Lightyear debuted to generally positive reviews from critics and audiences alike, though this wouldn't translate to box office receipts, as it only grossed just over $226 million against its $200 million production budget. $200 million for a cartoon. I do think that there's money laundering going on. There's something going on. Why do all films from like Disney and Fox and all these other, Disney essentially, because Disney owns just about everything, but Warner Brothers and that, why do they all cost $200 million or thereabouts? 200, 250. Why that number? Anyway, landing at the label of a box office bomb because they've got to make it. The general rule of thumb is it's got to make 3 times their production budget, haven't they? Because you've got to allow for marketing and the cut that the studio gets of the box office, which is about, it depends, doesn't it? But it's a third to a half. It depends. So to make profit, it'd have to, like $700 million ish. It'd have had to have, made to land a profit, and it didn't. Right, or $600 million, sorry. Right, a recent posting from Matthew Baloney's Puck newsletter reflected on the recent changes. I'm going to sneeze. It's all happening today, isn't it? Well, there's no snot and bogies dangling about. Oh, dear. Oh, let's end the year as we mean to go on. Right, let's try again. I'm in the wars today. A recent posting from Matthew Baloney's Puck newsletter reflected on the recent changes occurring in Hollywood's animation field, including former Pixar CEO John Lasseter now leading the charge for Skydance animation. The report also stated that two people who have spoken with the original Toy Story director say he was extremely critical of both Lightyear and Strange World, Disney's two major box office flops of 2022. Lasseter is said to hold extra contempt for the latter's project, Lightyear, latter project's failing after having after having created and nurtured the eponymous Space Ranger for 25 years, having helmed the first two instalments in the Toy Story franchise, and developing the story with fellow Pixar vets Pete Docter, Andrew Stanton, and Joe Ranft. It's a great name, isn't it? Why Lightyear was a rare Pixar bomb. Lightyear bombing at the box office proved to be a major surprise to many for a number of reasons. First and foremost being its larger franchise ties, with both Toy Story 3 and 4 clearing the $1 billion mark, because they were good. Additionally, with the spin-off being Pixar's first solely theatrical release after Disney elected for Disney Plus premieres for Soul, Luca and Turning Red during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, it was expected families would turn out to support the film. This bombing led some to believe audiences weren't ready to return to theatres for family-friendly films, only for Minions, The Rise of Gru's record-breaking $939 million box office haul, the highest for all animated films of 2022, to prove this not to be the case. Because it must have been rubbish. I say I can't comment because I haven't seen it. I just didn't like the trailer, so it didn't interest me. I should watch it. It's on Disney Plus, isn't it? I should really watch it, but I don't want to. One of the biggest factors blamed for Lightyear's bombing was the decision to recast Alan with Chris Evans, a move met with major division from Toy Story fans who largely didn't accept the explanation of it stemming from it technically being a different character. Another major element factoring into the film's failure at the box office was competition from Jurassic World Dominion, which just narrowly broke the $1 billion mark, and I quite like that film. And Top Gun Maverick, which became the biggest surprise hit of the year as Tom Cruise's best reviewed and highest grossing film of the year. We're good. Even upon its Disney Plus premiere, Lightyear was only modestly successful in its viewership numbers, falling very short of the Oscar-winning Encanto, which has set multiple records since it began streaming on the platform. You know what, I can't remember the last Pixar film I watched. It might have been Up. Might have been. Or that other one with the numbskulls, with the little people inside, that one. Could have been that one. And I wasn't over enamoured with that film, to be honest. Give us a Bug's Life 2. It's a 2 movie. Anyway, much like Lightyear, Disney's Strange World proved to be a shocker, or whatever, for the House of Mouse on multiple accounts, grossing just $66.5 million against its reported $180 million production budget, with some analysts expecting the film to lose the studio around $147 million. The film also broke Disney's 30-year streak of scoring an A- or higher from audiences on CinemaScore, scoring just a B, which was said to have factored into its box office failing, alongside the lack of the same marketing push as other major Disney releases. While there have been no talks of another Toy Story film in the near future, it seems likely Lightyear's failings will put a stop to any other instalments in the franchise for some time. It's not really... I don't see why. You could have a Toy Story 5 and go back to it being the toys, because Lightyear were different, wasn't it? It were about the original Buzz Lightyear. It wasn't about toys coming to life. So it's not really part of the franchise. It's a separate thing, isn't it? Anyway, there we go. So that's that. So John Lasseter was critical of it, but they didn't actually go into it, did they? It was just somebody that said he was extremely critical, and he had contempt for Lightyear, and that was it. Somebody just said it in passing, hadn't they? Oh, John Lasseter didn't like that. And they turned it into a news article. Whatever. Right, we'll leave it there. So, thanks for watching. Let me get rid of that. Right, thanks for watching. I hope my day goes better than this video. I might do a live stream around midnight-ish UK time. I might do New Year's Eve live stream for the first time. Because, well, I want around. I want around last New Year's, was I? We're coming up on my first anniversary, 22nd of January, I think, is when I started the channel. So we're coming up on the first anniversary. So I might do a New Year's live stream. So I might be a bit merry. I'll have a couple of drinkies, and we'll talk about some more new stuff or whatever just catches my eye, and have a drink and bring in the new year. So I'll leave it there. So thanks for watching. Wherever you are in the universe, look after each other, and until next time, I'll see thee.